Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video, I'm gonna show you 5 things that you might miss or underutilize in Kuni Cross Worlds. Let's get into it. Kuni Cross Worlds has been out for more than a week now, so I'm pretty sure you're already familiar with its features. But now, I can see some players still asking about this and that, so let's jump right into it. Number 1 in the list is setting up the auto battle feature. You would have known by now that it has 3 modes: when it's off, auto, and semi mode. But actually, when it's turned off, it is not completely turned off. When monsters attack you, you actually counterattack those monsters. But there is actually a way to completely turn off the auto battle feature. So let's get into that option. Just head straight to the game settings, game, battle, and you can see different options in auto battle here. Let's talk about that later on, but what's important right now is the counter when auto battle is off. By default, it is set to on. Just change it to off. Now, when enemies attack you, your character won't attack back. You might need this in the future, so if you want it to be set it like that way, just go in the settings and turn it off. Next is the auto mode. Now, enabling this auto mode will enable the auto attack and auto casting with all the skills except the burst skills. Now, if you click and hold this, there are a few more options available here. First is auto battle distance. In simple terms, your character will only attack enemies within this circle. So making it small will just a small area where you attack monsters. Making it big will have a bigger area of coverage for your farming or grinding. So set this up as needed. Next is the auto battle counter outside range. What this means is if there are enemies outside your range, you actually counter attack them if this is turned on. But if this is turned off, then you won't counter attack them. So I just keep this as turned on because I don't want my character to die from monsters outside my range when I'm grinding or farming. And lastly, auto skill and familiar auto use. Click that button and you can actually deactivate skills that you don't want to auto cast. Just click the skill icons you want to change. And when you're done, just click complete. This would be really useful if you have skills that you want to be auto casted and skills that you want to manually cast it. And last but not least is semi. Semi is just pretty straightforward. Activating it means auto attacking without auto casting the skills, meaning it's only using basic attacks. So I'm actually using this in Labyrinth when there's a requirement for basic attack only. But you could also create decks that doesn't have skills in it. With that, you can also finish Labyrinth with only basic attack. Now, let's go to number 2 in the list, which is utilizing decks. Decks are simply set of items, familiars, or skills that you could easily switch to. Currently, there are no shortcuts for this, but you have a maximum of 10 decks to set up. You can have pure fire composition, pure water composition, for PvP, all depending on your playstyle. Now, how do you actually set up decks? Just go to Profile, Character, Deck. Now, as you can see, we have weapons and armors here, skills, and familiar. And on the right side, you have your inventory for those as well. Currently, I'm using Deck 1, which is also the default. I just renamed it to Main. But as I mentioned, you can set up to 10 decks. Now, let's try creating a new deck. Let's just select one that is empty. As you can see, it's fairly empty except for one weapon and one burst skill. Now, to speed things up, I want to copy from one of my existing decks. So we just click this button, copy deck, and I just copied my main deck. Now from here, I could fully customize this deck. Let's say for example, I want this to be fully earth. Then I will just equip all of my earth items. Earth weapons, maybe earth skills, and also earth familiars. And that should be saved automatically. Next thing I wanted to do is to rename this deck so that I would know what type of setup I have for this deck. You can only use letters though, so no spaces and special characters. Next thing you wanted to check is the auto battle settings. Just click the settings here, auto use settings. As you can see, it is the same thing as the auto battle feature, deactivating which skills you don't want to be auto casted, and just click complete when you're done. Edit battle options here is same as what we have in the main options screen. We have the auto battle distance, the counter outside range, auto use heal skills, counter when auto battle is off. We also have options here for potions. Currently, there are no shortcut keys for changing decks quickly. You still have to press the deck icon at the lower right of your screen to change which deck you wanted to use while playing. Now speaking of shortcuts, let's go to number 3, which is shortcuts. As you can see, pressing F1 will show different shortcut keys or keyboard shortcuts, but it is not actually the full list of shortcuts available. So I'll show you shortcut keys that are not listed in this screen. First is G for gem. You could easily go to imprint gem here. Next is K for skills. L is for the list of quests or missions. It is the same as the icon here on the left side. Next is O for settings or options. Next is P for profile or social. Next is F for interact. You don't have to press the icons there, you just have to press F. Next is Control R, which is for reputation or reputation quest. Control D for deck screen. Control F for polish equipment. Control G for the summon screen. Control M for the world map. And lastly, Control C for the costumes. I would also include insert home, page up, delete, end, and page down, which is also your skills shortcut keys. And also adding up the arrow keys for the camera movement. Number 4 in the list is not utilizing the map. We all use this for quick travel or fast travel to traveling merchant and also different places. But you can also use this in field bosses to instantly move to their location. But you could also use the map to check which items specific monsters drops. So if you're farming specific items, you would know which monsters to hunt by checking up in map. And the number 5 in the list is the ranking titles. Just go to community, rankings, and here we have the overall rankings or weekly rankings. Each of these categories have different titles. Each title gives you a huge amount of CP boost and also stats. As you can see, costume dyeing, most popular that has a lot of followers. Pro photographer, you have a lot of likes on your post, so make sure to post your photos on your wall. At the bottom here, we can check the rewards or the titles available. Now we could also check the weekly rankings. From what I know, these titles, or some of these titles, if not all, are limited or has a time limit. As you can see here, these are things that you could do in the game, like just breaking urns, wooden boxes. All of this that you might have been missing while playing the game. So make sure to do this, like breaking urns and wooden boxes, which also earns you those badges for the wish. Now let's see an example of a ranking title. Look how much CP and stats you would get for acquiring it. Those are the 5 things you might have missed or underutilized in Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. Before I end the video, I would like to add a few more things. This is release familiars. You might have already fully awakened some of your familiars and you have no use of other familiars you have. Similar to equipment salvaging, You could obtain certain items when releasing familiars, like eggs or upgrade items. There's an alert message for high-grade familiars, so they should be safe at least. You could also sell beans. I actually don't recommend this because I could just use this to level up my familiars, but if you're really in need of gold, maybe you could try this, but I don't recommend it. And last bonus tip is for mount. When you already have more than one mount, you could actually equip two. One for the CP or stats, and one is for the appearance. Currently, I'm using Katakamprus for my CP because it's higher. So I'm using 100% of the stats here. But as you can see, the yak is appearance mounted. And I'm only getting 30% of the stats. And that's it for this video. I hope it helped you in a way. Thank you for watching, enjoy the game, and see you again next time.